The boy just couldn't help opening the toy plane. It scared his father in front half to death. He quickly put down his eldest son in his arms and rushed towards his youngest son at lightning speed. The mother and daughter who saw the scene were also instantly terrified, but they covered their mouths and noses, not daring to make any sound. At this moment, the father suddenly found a black shadow in the forest was quickly approaching his youngest son. Even though he ran desperately, he still couldn't turn the tide. It turned out that 2.5 months ago, a terrible alien monster invaded the Earth. They don't have eyes though, but their hearing and sense of smell are extremely developed. Their strong limbs can quickly approach prey, and their hard shells are even comparable to bulletproof vests. The whole world has become their hunting ground. Faced with the sudden attack of such monsters, the society built by humans collapsed in an instant. Keeping absolutely quiet is the only survival rule in this doomsday. Jeff and his family rely on this rule to eke out a living in the doomsday where monsters run amok. A suburban farm is their home to depend on for survival. Every time they go out to search for supplies, the whole family will spread sand on the road in advance to minimize the sound of footsteps. Communication between each other can only be done with sign language, for fear of making the slightest sound to disturb the nearby monsters. But an accident happened when they went out to search for supplies again. The whole family was about to return with a full load, but they didn't know that the youngest son had quietly taken a toy plane. The scene at the beginning happened on the way home. The death of the youngest son plunged everyone into sorrow. The father was even more guilty, thinking that he didn't take good care of him. To prevent similar tragedies from happening again, they became more cautious than before. Installed cameras around the farm so that they can observe the movements of the monsters at any time, because they can't make a sound. Neon lights for warning were also arranged around the house. When the red light is on, it means there are monsters around. The father also sends out distress signals to the outside world every day, hoping to find surviving humans, but there is no response every time. Time passed like this until a year later. This family is about to welcome a new member. To welcome the fourth child, they made adequate preparations, transformed the basement into a soundproof room. The walls are covered with thick newspapers for sound insulation. The crib is also made into a completely enclosed wooden box with quilts, leaving only an oxygen tube for breathing. After everything was ready, the whole family sat together for dinner. The necessary sense of ritual must not be missing, and at the same time prayed that the disaster would pass as soon as possible. But after dinner, when the two siblings were playing games, they accidentally knocked over the oyster. Such a noise was enough to attract monsters. Although Jeff put out the fire with a blanket in time, several people immediately held their breath, not daring to make any sound. Jeff carefully approached the window to check. Fortunately, it was just two groundhogs. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief, but they didn't know that the monster had already come nearby. It was just that the groundhogs took the hit for them. Early the next morning, Jeff began to spread sand on the road, preparing to take his eldest son out to fish, but Mike didn't want to go. He was afraid of being captured by monsters like his brother. The mother told him that he must go, because under the doomsday he must learn basic survival skills. Only in this way can he have the ability to take care of himself, and at the same time he also needs to take care of his sister and mother. Encouraged by Daisy, Mike finally plucked up the courage to prepare to go out. But before departure,